Welcome back to Veteran Voices. I'm your host, Jay Baker, and we're still talking with Lieutenant Colonel Dave Wood. Dave, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, Jay.
So before the break, you were talking about 9/11 just happened just while you were in RMC, and you know the vibe changed and went serious all of a sudden. Now your friends and your classmates have moved forward into Afghanistan and combat. Now, you carried on with your pilot training.
Yeah.
What was the feeling when you finally got your wings?
So got through helicopter pilot training, got selected to go to Combat Service Support Squadron or Combat Support Squadron out in Cold Lake, which was doing primary search and rescue for the fighter wing in Cold Lake.
Okay.
And so at that point it was excitement. It was like, okay, like finally, like I have my wings, I'm gonna go do my job now.
Right.
And so moved to Cold Lake. I was like, okay, this is what it's all about.
Yep.
And then spent first year and a half, 2 years there in Cold Lake, flying, doing routine stuff. I think in the first 2 years, had maybe 2, maybe 3 search and rescue callouts.
Okay.
In that time frame. So not a lot, but that was about average for the squadron. I didn't know that at the time. I thought it would I thought I'd get a bit more, but like,
right.
For the support we were doing to the fighter wing, you don't want to get called out because they've had an ejection. So you're getting called out in the search and rescue world on somebody's worst day.
Yeah.
And so kind of go through that. But at that point, that was getting into kind of 2005, 2006 timeframe. And that's when we'd made the decision kind of as a CAF that we were going to get committed into Kandahar.
That's right. Things started ramping up hard.
And then Kandahar really started. And so then all of a sudden it was, we need more people to go into more headquarters positions and do more things.
Right.
And so Cold Lake got an ask for a pilot to go into Regional Command South headquarters. So that was going to be the first headquarters after General Fraser. So General Fraser had taken the first kind of bigger brigade headquarters.
Okay.
And then it was going to get handed over to the Dutch in the fall of 2006. And Cold Lake got asked, hey, do you have somebody that can go do airspace control? And I volunteered.
Sure.
I'm like, why not?
Yeah. Got nothing else to do today.
Got selected for the job, and then all my pre-deployment training, and then late October 2006, my first deployment to Afghanistan.
Right.
So I got there about 3-4 weeks after Medusa had finished.
Right. Medusa was a hard one.
Yeah. And so then by the time I got there, they were just coming back off Medusa. Obviously the struggle that was, the sheer intensity of it all. And then we went into an op that we were designing as the follow-on to Medusa to kind of keep progressing from the next step. And so that was like,
right.
Hey, you've been in Afghanistan for 3 weeks. You now get to help plan major airspace for combat operations. And I was like I'm a helicopter pilot. Like,
right.
I do 1,000 feet and below. Like, what do you mean I got to talk about? So, yeah, so that was kind of my first real big introduction experience into working, planning at a higher level for significant combat operations.
Yeah. Now, you've been to Afghanistan a few times. It wasn't your first tour.
Yeah, so that was my first tour, was that one. I then, after came back from that one, that was the deployment where partway through my deployment, I got moved out of airspace control into kind of the soft coordination cell within the headquarters. So at that point, we were realizing the importance of kind of coordinating soft effects more appropriately across the division. So in addition to the Special Operations Task Forces having their own liaison elements into the headquarters, we wanted our own little coordination cell that would also feed into them.
Right.
And so I got put into that for about the last 2 months, and it was then that I realized I wanted to go into Special Forces. And so came back from that one, summer of 2007 on a bit of a mission, and summer 2008 ended up posted into, or ended up being selected to go into 427 Special Operations Aviation Squadron as a pilot. And there, then I did 2 more deployments to Afghanistan.
So before that, you were,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, more of a paperwork role.
Yep.
Now you're finally stick and feet.
Yeah.
You're actually touching the equipment again.
Yeah.
So how did you like that versus the paperwork?
It was super fulfilling. It was almost getting back to what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be, because it was like, not only was it just the flying, but it was also like the planning, the coordination, the working with the user and the customer, the people you're putting on the ground. Right. And you're forming that relationship with them in building the plan for them to go do the job. And so it was like, okay, so you want to assault that compound. Okay, how are you going to go assault that compound? Oh, well, I want to be inserted onto the rooftop. I'm like, okay, what rooftop do you want to go to? I want to go to this one. I'm like, okay, I will figure out how to get you to that point. And then at that point, the pilots would then do our thing. But that was, and it became probably some of the most dynamic flying I did. Right. And like super enjoyable, to the point where I got to do it in Afghanistan.